This portion of the news is brought to you by Inspiration Senior Living, where we provide affordable elegance to Pahrump area seniors. Give us a call at 751-2300 and make an appointment to tour our community.
Preschool children who experience repeated episodes of severe lower respiratory tract infections often present with symptoms like wheezing and difficulty breathing. A new study looked at whether a common antibiotic given early in these episodes could prevent the illness from getting worse.
This health tip is brought to you by
Desert View Hospital and Mountain Valley Physicians Group. Don't put your health on hold. We have time for you. Call us to schedule your appointment. 775-751-7100.
When preschool children experience repeated lower respiratory infections, it's much more than just a simple cold.
Well, lower respiratory tract illness is a cold that ends up going to the chest and that causes substantial coughing, wheezing, shortness of breath.
The usual treatment often includes steroids like prednisone.
We want to provide a safe alternative that allows these children to experience fewer episodes.
Dr. Leonard Becarier from Washington University in St. Louis and co-authors studied more than 600 children from 1 to 6 years old with a history of repeated episodes of severe respiratory illness. Children were randomly assigned to either receive the antibiotic azithromycin or a placebo early in these episodes.
The parents were to have this medicine at home and were to start it at the very earliest signs of an illness in an effort to try to prevent the progression of the episodes. The children in the azithromycin group were significantly less likely to have progression of their episodes to the point where prednisone would have been required.
Researchers also looked at whether increased antibiotic use could result in more bacterial resistance.
There was a slight increase in the number of children who had resistant organisms at the end of the study among those who received azithromycin compared to those who received placebo, but the numbers were relatively small.
Dr. Becarier says further research is needed to understand how often these resistant organisms will emerge.
How to put this strategy into clinical practice is going to take some time. This requires a proactive discussion with the child's health care provider in advance so that if this strategy is to be undertaken, it is available at home with the parent well instructed as to the earliest signs of illness and knows when to start this.
Catherine Dolf, The JAMA Report.
Thanks so much, Catherine. Dr. Becarier says even when used perfectly, there are many children who will develop severe illness despite these therapies. 57-year-old Robert Louis Deere killed 3 people and wounded 9 at a Planned Parenthood clinic in Colorado Springs over the weekend in what they are calling domestic terrorism. Deere appeared in court this morning to face murder charges. Investigators say the motive may be his anti-abortion and anti-government beliefs. They said the man mentioned baby parts after the shooting. He surrendered to police after a 6-hour standoff. The next hearing is set for December 9th. Emergency crews responded to a van that caught fire on Saturday. Emergency crews responded to a fully engulfed vehicle fire Saturday morning on Blagg near Irene Street. Firefighters were unsure at the time of arrival if anyone was still inside the vehicle. They learned shortly after that the occupants were able to exit the passenger van safely. The cause of fire appears to be mechanical and accidental in nature. This is Deanna O'Donnell for News 46. And the annual community Thanksgiving dinner was held at Nye Communities Coalition on Thanksgiving Day.
I would say we've served well over 100 people, maybe over 200 so far.
So 353 were actually delivered to, right?
That's right, 353. Plus we also sent some up to the Sheriff's Department.
To give those officers a little treat.
A little treat so that they could enjoy Thanksgiving also.
Wonderful. This is all put on by the Holiday Task Force.
Holiday Task Force is it's a group of organizations that come together from the community and community people to help put on the Thanksgiving, the Christmas, and the Easter dinners and picnic.
Is this lower numbers than before? Because it seems a little lower maybe.
It is a little lower, but it's still early. We still got a couple hours to go, so we're hoping that more people will come in.
Today was absolutely amazing. We did 353 deliveries. I had some people from drug court that took meals out to the desert, and they found and tracked down people living out there. They were able to even pray with them, and the people wanted them to pray with them. The lady driving's car got stuck, and they came and they helped her to get out of it. She was surprised, and I said, no, people are really out there giving, whatever their situations are, but people are out there, they want human contact.
Yeah, there were some that were saying that they were just lonely.
I had two ladies, and they happened to comment to me. I'm sure the others had the same situations, but they spent time talking to the people that they delivered to. And they said, you know, you just didn't want to leave them alone. They just needed someone to talk to. I said, the people that volunteered to deliver, we had one person wasn't home, they knocked at the other door, and they were able to give that person food. So my deliverers have enough understanding about what's going on to find people that are in need.
Hi, listen, everybody.
When we return, we're going to tell you about a couple Christmas trees that were lit up over the weekend.